noticed perfection is the only house guest who shows up uninvited? Yeah. And somehow it convinces you that you don't deserve to live in your own home? Get out of here. It arrives carrying a clipboard as well, saying, your life has failed inspection. And it points to the dishes in the sink, the unfinished projects, your emotional baggage, your weird laugh, your strangeness, your weirdness, those stretch marks, your anxiety, the text message you forgot to answer, 3 weeks ago. And then it has the audacity to ask, so, when are you going to finally become acceptable? You've got to be kidding me, right? Welcome back to Sacred Fox Consulting, and I'm Mr. Fox. Today we're talking about making room for imperfections, and not just tolerating them, not just saying, oh, yep, I've got them, and not just merely surviving them. Actually making room. Because your life, as well as mine, is imperfect, and we need to make space. And if you can't make space for imperfection, then there's really no space for you left. I think somewhere along the way, we confused growth with flawlessness. We started believing that enlightenment never meant getting irritated, never being bothered, being zen, that healing never meant crying, that confidence meant never doubting yourself, that wisdom meant always knowing what to say in all scenarios and circumstances. But that's not wisdom. That's public relations. Even nature isn't perfect. Trees grow out of whack, crooked. Mountains erode, fall apart. Rivers don't travel in straight lines. Have you heard of earthquakes, natural disasters? I mean, heck, even the moon spends half the month looking unfinished. Yet somehow, human beings wake up every morning expecting to become the first flawless creature in the history of existence. And it's pretty laughable, isn't it? I've been there. But that's pretty ambitious. And honestly, it's cute. It's adorable, isn't it? Perfection is anxiety wearing a graduation cap. It sounds good. It sounds intelligent. It uses big words and vocabulary. It has spreadsheets, color-coded calendars, a 5-year strategic plan. And somehow, it still convinces you you're behind. You're not quite there. You're off. I've met people who've organized their entire sock drawer like a damn military operation, while their emotional life looked like raccoons had been renting it. That's priorities, I suppose. Spiritually speaking, imperfection isn't evidence you've fallen behind. It's evidence you're alive. Life leaves fingerprints. None of us get out of this unscathed. Love leaves scars. Failure leaves wisdom. Grief leaves tenderness. Experience leaves wrinkles in the soul that become maps. Maps for someone else's journey. Imagine if ancient trees apologize for every knot in their trunk. I'm sorry. I survived storms? Come on, ridiculous. Those knots are proof of endurance, of lasting, of stories. Many of us spend enormous energy hiding the very places where life has shaped us. Yeah, we Photoshop our personalities, only put the best pictures on social media. We've got a whole filter on humanity. We've curated our existence until people admire the performance and the performative, while never actually meeting the actual person. Green rooms and stuff, wink wink. It's exhausting though, isn't it? No wonder we're tired. We're carrying around a version of ourselves that doesn't exist. And worst of all, we're trying to live that out as avatars. And let's be honest. Let's be real honest. Social media has convinced us that everyone's kitchen is clean. Their lives are perfect, neat, clean, organized. Everyone drinks green smoothies. Everyone has emotionally available, white teeth, smiling partners. Everyone owns 17 matching beige sweaters and never gets upset and always pays the bills on time. Meanwhile, you're eating cereal over the sink wondering if cheese counts as self-care. But you know what? You're probably closer to reality than you think, because that's really what it looks like. And here's something strange. People don't usually connect through perfection. No, they connect through humanity, humanness, honesty, vulnerability. Nobody says, you know why I love my grandmother? Because she never made mistakes. No, nobody ever says that. You know what they say? They remember burned cookies, terrible dancing, laughing so hard coffee came out of her nose. That's sacred. That's unforgettable. That's memorable. You see, imperfections are often where intimacy begins. That's where we connect. That's the secret. That's one of the main ingredients in any connection. Perfection is static. The spiritual seeker in me believes that imperfection is movement. Life is movement. Movement means adjusting. Movement means occasionally walking confidently in the wrong direction. It's filming a video while your cat is scratching the chair. It's entering the wrong restroom confidently until realizing humility arrives quickly and possibly with a slap. One of my favorite questions is this: what if your imperfections aren't interruptions, though? What if they're invites, invitations? What if impatience teaches compassion? What if grief teaches love? What if uncertainty teaches faith? I tend to believe so. What if failure teaches courage? We keep trying to erase the classroom while asking, where's the education? I think many of us want to just bypass the hard learning moments, right? There's an old saying that cracked pottery still holds flowers. And I also believe that to be true. I think that's true people. That's why I value people that have been through it, that have gone through things and have lived to tell. Some of the kindest people I've ever known weren't untouched by stuff. No, they were transformed by it. They have endured suffering and loss and grief and all the rest. But that didn't make them harder or more bitter. That opened them up to compassion, to empathy, to understanding. And imperfection can be the greatest teacher in life, I think. Making room for our imperfections doesn't mean abandoning responsibility, though. If you're consistently hurting people, stop it and don't. And don't call it authenticity. It's not. If you're refusing to grow, don't rename it self-acceptance. Growth matters. Accountability matters. Healing matters. Being honest with yourself matters. Being real about your stuff matters. Healing isn't about becoming somebody else. It's about becoming more honest with yourself, more vulnerable. And vulnerability and honesty hurt. You're forewarned. So here's a practical exercise. The next time you catch yourself saying, I'm such an idiot, pause, will you? And ask yourself, would I speak this way to someone I deeply loved? No, probably not. So why is your own spirit getting customer service from the worst employee in the building? Your inner critic has been promoted far beyond his qualifications. Time to turn the volume down on that. It might be time for a performance review for it as well. Try replacing condemnation with curiosity. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? What is my problem? Ask, what is this experience teaching me, showing me, revealing to me? Curiosity opens doors. Condemnation slams them shut. Be curious. Spiritually speaking, grace has always fascinated me. Grace doesn't wait for perfection. Have you noticed? And if it did, none of us would qualify. Grace meets us exactly where we're at. Mess and all, dirt and all, filth and all, confusion and all. Completely hopeful, broken, asundered, the whole thing. trying again. That's where transformation begins. Not after we become worthy, and grace doesn't ask for worthiness, but while we're discovering we always were. We've always been worthy. We all deserve grace. Perhaps the greatest irony is this: the parts of yourself you spent years trying to hide may become the very things that help someone else feel less alone. I mean, just think about that. Your recovery, your mistakes, your awkwardness, your scars, the things you're not proud of, the things you're embarrassed of, your persistence, your grit. These are your gifts. And not because that was all easy, but because meaning can emerge from it. And it often does. So today, maybe stop trying to become someone flawless and impeccable. Become available. Become honest. Become real. Become available. Available to laugh at yourself. Available to apologize. Available to forgive. Available to begin again. Available to be wonderfully, gloriously, imperfectly human. Because perfection builds statues. Imperfection builds people. And we're people, not statues, right? Statues don't hug anyone. Statues won't cry with you. So thank you for spending this time with me. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who's been carrying the impossible burden and weight of being perfect. Leave a comment below and tell me, what's one imperfection you've learned to make room for? What are those flaws that you want to get off your chest? Sometimes the greatest act of courage isn't fixing yourself. Sometimes it's finally making enough room to welcome yourself home. Until next time, I'm Mr. Fox. Take care of yourself and protect your spirit. Remember, rebuild, recovery, rise. Ask the difficult questions and just know I'm right here with you. Imperfection and all. Stay imperfect, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Be well.